Judah, Jacob's fourth son, took a Canaanite woman as his wife and had 3 sons, Onan, and Shelah. When the time came for his eldest son to marry, Judah chose the Canaanite Tamar as his wife. But disaster struck. Died prematurely, leaving no offspring. According to the law of levirate, Judah gave Tamar in marriage to his second son Onan, and the newlyweds also had no children. Onan did not want his firstborn to be recognized as the son of his older brother, and he gave his seed to the ground, for which God punished him. Judah should have given Tamar in marriage to his third son, but he felt sorry for the youngest, believing that Tamar was bringing nothing but misfortune to his family. He hoped that the last son would not die. Therefore, he sent Tamar back to her father's house. Here is what is written about it in the book of Genesis. Judah took a wife for his firstborn. Her name was Tamar. But was displeasing to the Lord. Then Judah said to Onan, "Go in to your brother's wife." Onan knew that the seed would not be his, so he spilled it on the ground. Judah said to Tamar, "Live as a widow in your father's house." But she covered herself with a veil and sat in the gate. According to the customs of that time, the situation of a childless widow returned to her father was the worst thing that could happen to a woman. In general, nothing but contempt awaited the poor woman, although in fact, Tamar was not a harlot, but a widow deprived of her rights. According to the law, her third son should have taken her, but Judah deceived her, leaving her without protection. In ancient Israel, there was a levirate marriage. If a husband died childless, his brother had to marry the widow. Judah broke this law by abandoning Tamar. She found herself in a situation where she could not marry, because she formerly belonged to Judah's family. She had no children, and therefore no future, and was doomed to poverty. Then Tamar decided to take matters into her own hands. She was not going to live in disgrace in her father's house. Tamar threw a veil over herself, like a harlot, and stood by the road along which Judah was about to pass. Tamar sits down by the road where her father-in-law, the only one who could now give her a son, would pass. Judah, although already elderly, could not refuse the services of the beauty who offered herself. No, she did not sell her body, she bought a future. Her goal was not money, but the restoration of justice. In essence, Tamar forced Judah to fulfill his duty. But for a false accusation of fornication, she could have been stoned. True, Tamar was not so simple. She asked Judah for payment for her services, his seal, his sash, and his staff that was in her hand. Inflamed with desire, Judah could not refuse and gave her everything she demanded. And about 3 months later, Judah was informed that his daughter-in-law Tamar was pregnant by an unknown person. Fornication in those days was considered a great sin, and women were punished severely for it, by burning at the stake. When the pregnancy was revealed, Judah commanded, "Take her out to be burned." But Tamar did not scream, did not cry. She silently held out his seal, his staff, his sash. At that moment, Judah learned the truth and said, "She is more righteous than I." This episode is described in the book of Genesis. Yes, Judah admitted his guilt before Tamar and took her into his house. After the appointed time, she gave birth to 2 sons, Perez and Zerah, whom Judah recognized as his heirs. Later, Judah and Tamar lived in piety, without having intimate relations. Probably Tamar was not upset about this at all. She had arranged her life. And besides, she became the foremother of the great line of David, the line of the kings of Israel. Perez became the ancestor of David, and later, of Jesus Christ. This is stated in the Gospel of Matthew. Let us also recall several episodes from the Gospel of John. When Jesus spoke to the Samaritan woman, when he defended the woman taken in adultery, he thereby continued the tradition of Tamar. We can safely assume that Tamar is the first biblical feminist. She used the only tool available to her, her own body, to survive in the ancient patriarchal system.